Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver Calvin Austin III has just had unexpected legal issues pop up with the law. And also we get a report on his injury that he's been dealing with for weeks now. But first, before I get into all of that, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news and updates. Also like this video. Now let's get right into it. So, before I get into the legal issues, let's start off with his injury. Because the Pittsburgh Steelers have been trying to find someone that can step up into the starting wide receiver role. And Calvin Austin III was named wide receiver 2 earlier in the offseason on the initial depth chart. But he has been out with some type of abdominal injury for quite a while now. And what seemed like a minor injury has quickly become something maybe concerning. Because Mike Tomlin said last Wednesday that he expects Calvin Austin to be back soon, but since then he still hasn't even practiced. And he's been out since Friday Night Lights in the beginning of August. So for a team with low receiver depth, losing someone like him would be a massive blow. But it's just an abdominal injury, and hopefully he's back soon. That's the update at least. Now, moving over to some other problems that he's having. And it seems as though it's issues with the law. Because back in May of 2025, Calvin Austin was reportedly arrested on animal-related charges, according to the Unified Judicial System of Pennsylvania. His next scheduled court date is September 8th, 2025, which is the day right after the Steelers' Week 1 game in New Jersey against the New York Jets. So far, the team has not made any comment about this arrest at all, and no disciplinary actions have been vocalized or reported, if there are even going to be any, which you don't really expect because this doesn't really fall under the personal conduct of the NFL policy. So even if he is found guilty, he may be charged to pay some money. But other than that, in terms of NFL related stuff, he's not going to have to miss any games based off the rules set in place. So while the arrest is not reportedly why he is missing practices, this is still likely a very rough situation for Calvin Austin. Based on the wording in the report, it sounds like his pet dog may have bitten or injured someone else's dog, as the report is officially listed as confined within premises of the owner. Even if the incident was entirely accidental, it's still a horrible thing to kind of have to deal with, if true, because obviously he's going to have to deal with all the legal issues, he's going to have to go through all the court dates, everything like that, and talk to his lawyer and stuff like that. So obviously it's just a horrible thing that you would have to go through. And according to the report, Austin seems to have not made a plea deal one way or the other. And he also had a trial back on June 17th that will be continued in September after like I said, the Jets game. Luckily, most likely, he will not face any jail time, so he can get back to practicing and working out once he is healthy from that injury. And this should also most likely not result in a suspension, like I said earlier, based off of just the policy in the NFL. So once the case is over, he will likely end up paying some sort of fine that he can put the incident in the past where it belongs. But this is something that Calvin Austin is dealing with, and something we just got news of yesterday when the document reported online. So obviously for both parties involved, you never want your dog to allegedly get bitten by another dog, and also you never want your dog to allegedly bite another dog as well and injure it. So for both parties involved, allegedly it's a bad situation. But moving back over to the football side of things, because obviously football's going to start back up soon, and we need Calvin Austin out there. Calvin Austin is set to have a major part in this team. Once again, he is named wide receiver number 2 on this depth chart. He is the focal point of this offense now. He's no longer going to be the guy who's the wide receiver number 4, alternating back in and out of the game on certain downs. No, he should be in the game most of the times. And he's someone who Aaron Rodgers can rely on for deep threats, for short passes, to run long, using his speed and athleticism to break away. Something that he's shown in college was that he was able to do that, be that shifty guy, but also be a player who could line up anywhere. It didn't matter if he was an outside receiver. He actually played more outside in college than he did in the slot, but he was also able to play the slot. So he's someone who's not just going to be a slot receiver on this team. And so far in training camp, he has been utilized in the slot, but mostly on outside. So he's someone who the Steelers value a lot, see a lot of potential in, and they wouldn't just be set in stone with him at wide receiver if they didn't believe in him. They probably would have went out and signed a different wide receiver to be number 2, or went out and traded for another receiver to be number 2. Probably wouldn't have got rid of George Pickens if they didn't feel solidified that Calvin Austin could be a guy that steps up. So obviously they had that belief in him, and in his contract year, this is his opportunity to go out and earn a bag. Because if he provides the showing and film to other NFL teams and the Pittsburgh Steelers that he can be a top receiver in a contract year, next season, in the offseason, he could go out and get paid as a number 2 receiver, number 3 receiver, number 1 receiver maybe, if he goes out and shows what he's capable of. So Calvin Austin III, this is his chance this season to prove his worth in the NFL. And he's going to be given the opportunity fully to actually do it for the first time. Last season, he got sparks of being targeted, and he was actually open quite a lot and was missed quite a lot. If you just watch the film back on games, it seemed like he was always open and it was just missed. But now he's going to be actually given the full opportunity to be the focal point, and he should not be missed when he's open, especially by Aaron Rodgers. So, Calvin Austin III, he's always had my trust in terms of what he could do in the football field ever since he was drafted by this team. Even before he was drafted by this team, I always wanted him to be the Pittsburgh Steeler because of what he showed in college, because of what he showed in his pre-workouts before the draft. I wanted the Steelers to draft him, and when they did, I wanted them to always give him the opportunity because of what he can do, his speed, and something that he brought to the table that no other Steelers wide receiver currently had. So, this season, he will be given the opportunity, and I believe that he will show out. He's always been a guy who's a secure catcher. Whenever he's thrown the football, especially if it's in his range, he'll go out and catch it. He's not someone who's just going to drop the ball. And also, Calvin Austin, he's a player who works hard. Whenever you see him in the offseason, whenever you see him in training, he's someone who's always trying to get better. He's not going to take rests. He's not going to go out and not try 100%. You see him even blocking. He's a smaller guy. He's not going to go out and block someone. But he tries his best to, and he tries to at least help his team in that area. He'll give his full 100% effort every single time. And that's why you love having a guy like that on your team, and love when those guys get chances. Because even though you know that that block might not do anything in terms of he's going against a 6'2" guy and he's 5'8", 5'9", it might not do much, but he's trying his best to do it. And he's not just going to give up because he knows he can't. Unlike some other players on this team who have given up in some type of plays and not given 100% effort. So Calvin Austin, he's always been a good guy on and off the field. And it's a shame that this legal issue popped up. This injury has happened to him now in a year where he is trying to give him more opportunity. It's a tough because it's obviously took a hit of his relationship with Aaron Rodgers on the football field. Because when you're practicing every day, you build that connection on the field. But the last 2 weeks that he's been missing, that connection kind of dropped off because he's not practicing anymore. So hopefully that builds up when he gets available again, and the preseason comes along and the season comes along, and they're able to build that connection back up. But anyway, Calvin Austin III, he is expected to be wide receiver number 2, and he should show out. So, this is the end of the video, but let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Your thoughts on Calvin Austin III and this legal issue of his dog reportedly injuring another dog and him getting in trouble for it and having to go to court to deal with that legal issue. Also, what are your thoughts on his injury of him missing time the last few weeks? Do you think this is more serious than the Steelers are letting on? Also, let me know your thoughts in the comments below of what Calvin Austin could do this season. And do you trust him to be wide receiver number 2 like I do? Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news, updates, highlights, analysis reports. Everything surrounding this team I've covered this offseason, doesn't matter what it has been, training camp, new players, the draft earlier on, free agency, and even news and rumors like this. They're all on the channel. Go ahead and check it out. And I'll continue covering the Steelers as preseason continues and as the season rolls along shortly. So make sure you stay tuned to this channel, Steelers Report, for everything Pittsburgh Steelers football, the best spot for it. And I'll see you guys all later until tomorrow's video. That's it for me. I'm out. Peace.